Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW-LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC-LP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much. I love that. Can we do that one time? Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. We are live streamed on we're here.
Oh, great. We're already here. You've been doing the show for like 6 years.
I'm looking at Kurt. I'm trying to make sure I remember that name. No.
Way to go, Kurt. Getting her nervous.
No, he's not. YouTube is carrying us live right now, and so is the Lone Star Community Radio.
There you go.
Facebook page.
irlonestar.com, Facebook.
irlonestar.com, Facebook. Yes, anyway. So, and then also on the radio from Waverly to the Woodlands, you can listen to us on the radio, 106.1 and 104.5. And I didn't have to look away
I'm
for
so
anything.
proud of you.
Thank you. That was a great start, wasn't it?
Yeah. What shows is?
It's the Cindy Cochran Show, yes, and I'm Cindy Cochran, and it works out good that way. But we have exciting guests today, and these are guests that, Richard and I have to make sure that we impress so they'll come back or they'll talk nice about us in other places. And so we have Elizabeth West.
Here we go. I love it. We should give you cue cards.
Yeah, and Kirk could hold them up for me because he's right across from me. It's perfect. And Kirk Maddox. I said Kirk Maddox. Did I say it right? I thought you were mouthing something to me. I went, oh, no, I didn't do that. And Andrew Yusey, and if I can remember his name, I can remember anybody's name. Okay. All right, so we are all here, and Richard Schischler behind all the stuff he's got to push buttons on. And so it's perfect. But I love having Andrew on here because Andrew knows something about everything, and he knows so many people already. You haven't been here but like months, right? How many months have you been here?
5 months.
5 months, and you know everybody already. And you just say, hey, you know Andrew? Oh, Andrew, yes, I know him. You know him? What do you know? No, that's not what they say, really. Everybody knows you. No, and you're a great photographer, and you're great. You have such a great backstory, an interesting backstory, that's hard just to talk about what you need to talk about today because you have so much to say. But Elizabeth, your cohort, and she is always there with you to keep you balanced. She's your balance of nature, right there. Okay, good. But Kurt is the
gosh. I knew you were going to get this wrong. I knew it.
You are the mayor pro tem, and he even mouthed it for me. So I could read his lips. The mayor pro tem. I'm so excited. How long have you been mayor pro tem?
About a year.
About a year?
Been on council 3 years.
You have? Okay. Which is more fun?
They're all interesting.
They are. Interesting is always the word to go to.
It's an honor just to be part of the city and be a servant of the city and be on city council. It was a passion of mine. growing up as a kid, so I'm excited to be here today.
It was? Mm-hmm. So as a kid, you knew you wanted to get into government, or you wanted to get on the city council, or what did
I
you know?
wanted to be a servant for Conroe. I was so proud of being a Conroe Texan. It was amazing. I loved our community, and I grew up at a place that I was with people that were part of council then, and mayor, and doctors, and I loved being part of that group.
And here you are, just a few years later, and now you are.
10 years later.
Now you're Mayor Pro Tem. I'm going to say that all through the thing. Okay. And Andrew is the Public Information Officer, right?
That's correct.
Whew. Okay. And that's why you know everything about what's going on in Conroe. Right?
Yeah, I do. In
Yes,
fact,
you
I do.
Yes. Just say yes, and
I
then,
do.
and then we'll correct it later.
Give me a topic and let me open Google.
Yes. And Google that. But Kurt, I do want to know, like you said when you were a kid you wanted to do this. And that's interesting because Andrew and them just went to school and they brought the city council people with them. And I'm sure, were you at that event? Okay.
I was.
All right. So it must have been exciting to see. You're now taking what your love was, your passion was, to these schools and trying to get these kids to understand this. In their response to you, did they know a lot more than you thought they were going to know about city council?
They knew a whole lot more than I thought they would know. So, I'm passionate about youth and kids in general, and I really focus on what the future of the world's going to be. If it's not for a good youth and good structure, then where are we going to go? And so I was fortunate to work with Elizabeth about a year ago on trying to bring this to it, and with the help of Andrew and Elizabeth, they made it
Made it all happen.
So we're excited. It was a great day. It was an exciting day for everybody and the kids. They were fantastic.
Now, did they get to ask questions of you, or were y'all just in a teaching mode? Did they get to
This was a legitimate city council meeting where the students were presenting an agenda item. So the students wanted to change something at Wilkinson Elementary. This is Wilkinson Elementary. The students wanted to make a change in their school, and what they did was we brought the city council in. We announced it was a meeting. Our city council was there, and the students had a presentation, and they presented what they wanted to change or implement in their school. And the city council sat there and they listened to it, and then they discussed it. They asked the students questions, really good questions that the students weren't prepared for. And then at the end, there was a vote. So we held a vote after the students put on this phenomenal presentation. They had their notes, they had their research, they had PowerPoint presentations, they had the costs, they had their plan, how they were going to do it. And then they presented it to council, and then council voted yes or no for their program.
And what did the council vote?
So these are kids, and the idea, I'll get into why we did this, but the idea was to show them how city council works. And one of the key elements in this process was to understand that it doesn't always go 5-0 vote, that you might have votes for or votes against, and the votes against are votes against what you presented to us, but it doesn't mean we didn't like what you presented. It means that there are other things that we think need to be improved or that the money can go to. So the night before, I emailed all the council members and I said, okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have 5 people. We're going to have 2 yeses, 2 nos, and the mayor pro tem is going to be the tiebreaker. And the worry, the nerve, what's the word? People were feared that they were going to have to be the no vote. No one wanted to be the no vote. No one wanted to tell the kids no.
For you. Yeah.
And so our mayor pro tem came up with a good idea. And his idea was put all the names in a hat, and we draw 2 names right before we go on, and whoever draws 2, they're the no votes, which would have worked fine. But then Councilman Todd Yancey came to me and said, if I draw no, I'm not saying no. I'm not telling these kids no. So I'm thinking, oh, now we have a problem.
I love that.
So it worked out to our advantage.
That was smart. Well, it was smart to try and come up with a way that everybody could get the prize. That's how you want to do today. Is you want everybody to win. And so when I just can't imagine you telling them now we're going to vote and whatever we say is going to stand. This is what, and you have to accept it. Isn't that what you told them?
Yes, and to be completely transparent, we aren't approving any. The meeting had nothing to do with city financial transactions or discussions. It was all CISD. We were there to show them about city council.
Right.
What the students had asked for, in reality, had already been approved by CISD, and CISD had budgeted to implement their program. So we were the show portion to show them, because Elizabeth had asked early on, why are we teaching kids to go to city council for approvals? We're not the ones that pay for anything in the CISD. And I was like, that almost ended the whole program right there. I was like, fine, then let's
See,
just
that's
not
why
do it.
Elizabeth.
The kids needed their root beer floats.
Yeah, but I told her, I said, because the kids are citizens, their parents are citizens, their
Right.
parents vote, the kids are going to vote. And
Right.
in the end, our city council are the elected officials running their community. They should be exposed to that and understand it's not about CISD, it's about them learning the city council. And then Elizabeth agreed, okay, let's do it.
The process.
I wish we had that when I was in school.
So the mayor pro
Yeah,
tem
I love
was
it.
there, and he was the center of attention. He was the deciding vote, because we did have 2 yes and 2 no votes. So it came down to him.
And I bet you
Motion
said
carried.
yes.
Motion
carried. That's great. Did they start yelling and clapping and
They
all
did,
that?
and I'm just gonna. I will tell you, they were so prepared because we had a council meeting that night at 6 o'clock, and we 2 of them, Councilman Hardiman and our city manager, had to go on an emergency trip to Austin, and there were some names that were changed, and every person that spoke, I mean, there was probably 40 kids, had the names corrected in the morning. So they were they were calling me everybody by name, very very prepared. And you know, I loved it. You know, back in the day, I was telling Miss Stewart, the principal, that, you know, you had to have debate, you had to have speech. So you learned about Parliament, you learned about Robert's Rules of Orders, and this is something that some kids don't know, and they really need to know how government works and how it all works.
That's wonderful, and I imagine that does make them understand a whole lot more than probably even their parents had forgotten. Because I remember learning those rules, and you know, you had to go wait outside, and they're gonna vote on you and all that, and it was really serious. I mean, you took that very seriously, and whatever happened was a big deal, was a big impact. So it's interesting, and I'm so glad to know that you're still doing that, and you're making it where all the other kids are going to want to be involved. Was that one teacher's class, or was it a lot of classes put together?
So here's how it all came together. This was their student council. So their student council is students from all different classes, and then they go to student council.
Right.
I don't know exactly how you get into student council. And I'll be honest with you, my son is a first grader there, and he wanted to be involved. He wanted to be a part of it. And I said, no, this is for fourth grade student council. If you really want to be involved when you're in fourth grade, this is something you should try and achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Get involved with student council, and you'll absolutely be involved. But you're not going to come out and be involved just because you're my son. These are the fourth graders. These are the students that have prepared for this. I'm getting off track here, but what I want to say about the students is, why did we do this for the students? The class, number one, is to build their confidence,
Right.
because they're getting ready to give a presentation to, and we're talking, we went in there in full suit and tie. We were polished, we were professional. We walked in there, and I wanted it where we had no interaction with the students ahead of time. They were sitting down, and then they shuffled the students in, and you could see them walk in and look, and you know they're nervous, right? And what's everyone's number one fear? Most people's number one fear in life is public speaking.
Yes.
So you've got this entire class, 28 students, who are getting ready to speak in front of city council. These aren't teachers that they see every day. These aren't, their relatives, parents. They've been told these are city council members, that this is the mayor pro tem, this is city council, city administrators, elected officials. And we've seen adults come in here who are polished and extremely prepared, and they get up there and they kind of shake through it. They give their presentation, but it's intimidating.
Yes.
So these fourth graders had to wake up that morning, and they could have, I got a toothache, I got an earache, and they were there. They had their shirts, and they were there. So they've overcome their nervousness and fears. They've built their courage. We've increased their courage, and expecting the outcome that they didn't, that they weren't expecting. They had to accept the outcome that they weren't expecting, and that was the no vote. So they gave their presentation, and we have 5 people. We have 2 yeses and 2 nos. But the idea was that the no votes weren't just no, although they came across as very cold no's. It was our city attorney, Mike Garner, and he's very serious. And then it was our city secretary, Soko Gorhan. And when you asked them, you said, we're going to do a vote. You started with city attorney, Mike Garner. He said, we haven't even told you what the students had a recycling program that they had implemented. And what they were asking city council for was recommendations, ideas on how to market their program. They said, we want to do posters, we want to do videos, we want to do commercials, we want to make this a really successful recycling program in our school. And what you were saying earlier is this isn't just for them, this is for classes for years to come. So they're doing something that's going to affect the school for years to come.
Yeah.
So they give this great presentation and have all their charts, like I said, and they were prepared, and then we go to the vote. Mike Garner, city attorney, what's your vote? Nay.
And you could hear a pin drop in the whole. I mean, parents just went,
The first one, nay. And the students, I looked at the students and they were like, but he says, the reason I'm going to say no is because you gave a great presentation and I'm all about recycling and I think what you're doing is wonderful. But I come from a very athletic, physically fit background, and that's how I was brought up in school. And I feel that these funds could be better spent if they go to your gymnasium, your athletic department, physical fitness. And okay, they kind of accepted it where it wasn't just a hard no. And then, all right, we got the no out of the way. City Secretary Soko Gorhan, how do you vote? Nay.
pin drop again.
I can't believe that. That's
Neither could they.
could you have set them in different places?
That's
You
just
knew they were
where they were. Yeah.
Well, we tried to do it just like the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
bias, which is that's how
We were set up like this, and they had a great stage set up there.
They did.
They put a lot into it. But then she said, again, it's a great program. I'm all for recycling. Well, your presentation was wonderful. And it wasn't so, she was very serious. She said, but my thing is education. I believe in education and I believe in supplies, and I feel that the money could be spent in the classrooms, on the teachers, on school supplies, better materials to help you get a better education in the future.
And you didn't have a student lean into the mic and say, "Can you tell me who your lobbyist was? Was it the union? Did the union get to you?"
And then,
That would have been so. Somebody act like, "Wait, how did you know?" No.
and then we went to Councilman, I think it was Yancey first, and then Councilman Howard Wood, Todd Yancey and Howard Wood. And when Councilman Yancey explained that what his reasons were for voting yes, he said yay. So we had a yes, so it was 2-1. Then Councilman Howard Wood, yay. And he explained why they think it's important. And then, so it was 2 yes and 2 no. And then it goes to, and I don't even think you gave an explanation. I think you just wanted to get rid of the name. Hit the
I
gavel.
did. I was ready to get, they needed to hear a yes, and the motion carries.
If you could just have that button that you could have gone like that, and
kinda
all the
did hit
glitter
it
would have
like
come
that.
down.
Yeah, it was motion carries.
Well, that's great. These kids have watched so much American Idol and America's Got Talent and all that, and they have the judges up there, and they say, "Okay, what do you vote? Yes, no." And they go through that, and they see that happen so much, and they go like, "Man, this is kind of like we watch on TV." And but they're saying no, and we needed 4 yeses, and then he came in, and he was the deciding vote. That was perfect.
And that was the difference in this, is not to do the American Idol vote or the vote where you think you put one thing out there and then, everyone's going to either vote for it or against it. But what we were looking at is that we're not voting against what you said. The idea is to teach the students that there's a lot going on. There's a big picture here.
Mm-hmm.
You put together this great PowerPoint presentation to City Council about your recycling program,
Right.
but take into consideration there's a lot that needs to be done in the school, and that's the same thing we experience in the city. We get our citizens come in here, and all of them have legitimate concerns about things that they want to fix, or they complain that there's things that the council's not addressing or areas the council's not looking into. But you have to remember, this city is growing. There is a lot. Everything can probably be looked at and be fixed or replaced or added or built, and we have to do it, you know, as it comes, financially, what's necessity. But it all comes down to the vote. That's the important thing. It's not one person saying, I only want to do everything on this side of town. It's the vote, and that's what we're teaching these students, and hopefully some of these adults learn that
I think the adults will take away, you know what? We do have a place to go. We can voice our opinion. We can go to, because this is, you taught me a lesson. I can go and I can make my voice heard. And this doesn't have to just be through the voting part. I can go be heard. That's big right now, especially right now, is to get in front of who the leaders are and find out how you get there. Do you make an appointment? How do you get in front of them?
You know, we Andrew's been promoting it on our website, on the city website, but we encourage the citizens to come down here, and they get a 3-minute citizen inquiry. And I know Elizabeth's been big in that too, helping us, and they're posting it everywhere. But, you know, we want to hear what your issues are or problems, or, you know, you can even come and thank us. It's okay. We take compliments. And so, but when we look at them, we address them. We just doesn't go over our head. Every council person and the mayor is engaged. I mean, so we're taking the notes. We know their numbers. We get them to the direct department to help them out. And we encourage you to come and ask us questions. There's some things we just don't know. And,
right.
And I will tell you that we have an extremely powerful council where everyone really cares. I mean, I don't know what other councils have done. This is my first time to serve, but I will tell you that everyone is engaged and everybody is important.
That's awesome. That's coming right
and
out of your...
I want to add to that too, that it's not just being engaged and important. It's that there's a lot of thought that goes into the decisions that are made. It's really not just yay, nay. It's when they're making a vote, they've all got their reasons. They've done their research. They've put a lot of time and thought. And so when they're voting, these votes aren't just, I favor this side of town or I favor this person. It's why. You know, they might vote against something. They like the person, they like the side of town, but they don't agree with the project, or they think something else is more important over there.
Well, did any of the children try and question? Did you say, now y'all have any questions? Did they try and question the nay voters and they want to try and change their mind?
They were terrified.
And then you don't have that option at council.
Yeah.
So
you don't. Okay.
No, you don't. So, and I will tell you, and people probably don't know this, but you know, it's now on a laptop, but our books for a council meeting could be 6, 7, 8 inches high with 1,000 pages. So it's not something we're just going through and it says, you know, this is what it is. We read it. I mean, so we highlight it, we make notes, and we're prepared. Like Andrew said, there's a lot of thought that goes in. We're just not going, okay, that's vote yes. We study it and try to make the right decision. Mm-hmm. And these kids, you know, they didn't have the option, but they were great. They were prepared. They all had their student council shirt on. They had their name on the back, and I love what Andrew said when he goes, you know, I've been here a lot, and so this was a 9:00 meeting. I'm telling you, the parents were dressed up. Their kids that they came with were dressed up. It was, my son came. It was a full auditorium. It was awesome.
That is great.
They were, and I don't want to, this isn't a critical statement at all, but we've been there, my wife and I have been there a lot. We go there for awards where, you know, parents are invited for your child as an excellent scholar of the month. And as parents, they're just trying to get to the school, and they're involved, and that's the most important thing. The parents are there. But we're going to go, you know, I might go from work, I'm dressed up, but some parents are just, they're going to go to be with their child. It's not about what you look like. It's not a fashion show. And so parents are generally just, you know, they're casual people to be there to support their children. And for this, they were all dressed up. It was their Sunday church best. And I told Kurt and the rest of them that, you know, that's very respectful. That's something we appreciate.
That's right. Now, listen, I hope that you're not feeling like I'm not appreciating y'all because I didn't dress up today. I'm very casual. I'm trying to keep it very casual.
Well, I understand because we just did a deal for the memorial on the police for Sergeant Holcomb, and I was the only one there not in a suit, so I understand. I mean, I was in my
Yeah, you had an official.
I had my shirt on, but I was and that was a great deal too. I don't know if y'all want to plug that in, but it was nice.
I love that. I saw that it was May 19th or
This
what
week,
was it?
yeah.
This it's all this week, and so I think that's great. And always it's talking about go up and tell an officer, thank you for being here and all. And I love that because every night I go to Kroger, I go in there and I go to the officer that's standing there and tell him, thank you so much for being here. And he said, you're welcome. Like not many people go up and tell him, thank you for being here. And that I'm so glad you're here and that you're here to protect us. And he says, okay.
Now he's watching you shop
Yeah.
the whole time. He's like, this
Yeah.
lady's suspicious.
Now-
We got to keep an eye on her. She's throwing bananas in her purse. She's like trying to fit a whole brisket in her purse. It's
Would
like,
you
this
step on the
lady's.
scale? How much did you weigh before you came in? And so much did you come out? No, but I just appreciate them so much. And I teach the kids to go up to the Army people and say, thank you for your service and that kind of thing. That's so important to me. I know they may get sick of it. I don't know if I can't imagine them getting sick of it, especially little kids coming up and saying, thank you so much for your service. But police officers especially just need so much support, so much, how much we do care about them. And at the end of every show, we talk about how much we respect and love our first responders. And it's just, it really is, it's so mind-boggling because you can't understand that kind of bravery that they have every day getting up and they don't know what's going to happen and if they're going to come back or not. But they put their life out there every day. And so it's amazing. But I think there are a lot of first responders. I think they're teachers or nurses, and there's a lot of people that are just amazing people. And our Mayor Pro Tems, you never know when somebody comes to attack you. No, I think it's great. And you guys are so dedicated to events. I love it. Y'all have so many events, so many things going on in Conroe and for the families. And this is such a family-oriented place. And anytime the schools have anything that they're going to give awards or any of that, it's packed. The auditoriums are packed. And so it just speaks so much to this, to be able to move into a community like this and have that kind of security, support, and just like what you said, the city council's like. A lot of people never even know about the city council or anything like that unless there's something goes wrong. But how much work goes into it. And so I love this station has done a lot to try and spotlight what different businesses and events and of course charities and all that are here. And it's just a very loving, very close-knit group once you get involved and you get in and do stuff. And that's what.
And these our city council, we did research, and as far as we know, that what we did at Wilkinson has never been done anywhere, where and we had to post the meeting as a public meeting, so that it was open, and the school had to be prepared for citizens that would show up. They didn't do a lot of heavy promotion, but it was a legitimate city council meeting. So to have the city council, the mayor pro tem and the city council agree to that shows their commitment to the future. And every single one that I talked to, the one who wasn't there, it was our councilwoman, Marcia Porter, who is recovering from hip surgery, and we've heard that she's doing great in her recovery. So we missed her while she was there, but she is doing much better. But
she couldn't vote from the hospital bed.
We thought, well, we
took it under consideration.
we wanted to have, I don't, if you don't watch The Big Bang Theory, have a monitor where she could be there to vote live.
She probably would have, but
She would have, yeah. But you had an entire city council that was involved, and that's one of the first things I saw when I got here was they want to be out at the schools, they want to be engaging or interacting with students. But one thing the reason this whole thing started was I saw my son and his friends and these kids and student council. They know what it is. They understand city council, and I thought, why not step it up? We go to the schools and we read books and we tell stories, and it's career day, and I thought, let's take it up. Let's take it to the highest level These kids are aware. They do understand. They do know. And that's what we did. And we proved it, that they're very aware.
And that they were nervous is great because it shows how serious
That
they
we
were
were
about
nervous. We were all nervous.
I mean, we just did it the night before, and we all talk on the dais all the time and do it. And I told them I was nervous. I mean, it was. I mean, here I am. I mean,
great.
because you talking about being on a podium and everybody's looking. I mean, the eyes were on us, and we were just as excited as the kids. So if you're not nervous, you don't care.
That's exactly right. That's what I mean. It's like the kids come in and get through something like that, and how long the impression that's just going to make forever for them.
Yes.
That they got to do that, and then encourage them to go into some kind of city service or something.
And for the city, the impression it's going to make when you hear of Conroe or you think of Conroe, or you're Googling Conroe, things like this come up and you see and you say, that's a community that they're invested in the future.
Right.
Conroe is growing right now. We have people coming from all over that are moving here rapidly. And these people that are coming here, they don't know who the mayor is. They don't know who city council is. And when they come here and things like that are popping up, the feeling you get is that this is a city council. These are leaders. These are elected officials who want to invest in the best, the positive future. We're very fortunate. We don't have a lot of problems that a lot of other cities have.
I know. It's because of the police around here. All you have to do is be stopped one time. And they'll make you feel like I'll never do that again. I promise. And I had a Conroe police officer stop me one time, and he said, "Ma'am, I want to tell you something. My family lives on the street here. Okay, my family lives on the street here. So you speeding, you could have hurt somebody in my family. So I better not ever catch you speeding on this thing again." And I go like, "Yes, sir. I mean, you just made it very personal. Thank you very much." And I was like, okay. I felt so bad. It was great. It was a perfect way to get somebody to slow down.
Yeah.
Because it put his family in my hands, so thanks. But I want to ask you now, were you guys kidding about him being a professional race car driver? Were y'all kidding?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I need to go back here and open up a book and get some kind of research done on who this person is.
I've been a lot of things, but I haven't been a race car driver yet.
Well, that's what he said. We have a
We
professional race car
wanted
company.
to surprise you, and I had to tell Dick the name so he could build the Lord Thirds.
Yes.
But so when I said Kurt, I realized you didn't know who was coming on.
Right.
And I said, the race car driver.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think. I know there's a Kurt car
Kurt
driver.
Busch.
Kurt Busch. Yeah, I was sitting there trying to think who Kurt. I was thinking Kurt
Oh,
Angle.
Kurt Busch.
He said Kurt Schilling. And I was like, Kurt, I know. Kurt, who's that? Yes, Kurt. I think he got arrested in Phoenix for a DUI when he was in there for the Phoenix International Raceway.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I know he's won that.
I might be wrong. Was he the Lowe's car? Who was the Lowe's car?
Why are we talking racing? What's happening right now?
He got off a little
I
track.
know, I
He
love
got
it.
got
Yeah,
off
all
track
right,
a
never
little
mind.
bit.
Well, one thing I want to suggest to you guys as city council people, y'all need a sergeant at arms who announces every time you enter a room, like they do with the president. So if you really want to spread awareness, whenever any city council person goes into any building in any room, you have a sergeant at arms who makes the announcement.
Mayor Pro Tem arriving.
Like,
I mean, I'm wanting to come in the back door. I mean, now you got a sergeant of arms.
like every single place you go, you got some guy announcing you. You're going to the
Hey.
Kroger. We got the Mayor Pro
Waffle
Tem.
House.
Going to the
It already
Waffle
happens
House.
at the Waffle
Yes.
Now, what happened at the Waffle House?
Well,
You're
that.
Is
We walked in, they said,
that Kurt's-
Mayor Pro Tem arriving.
I love it.
He didn't turn the corner, and they had his drink ready, serving it to him.
They know who he
The
is.
Waffle House.
Okay.
My wife has been to a few Waffle Houses, and they were all horrible experiences. She's never had a good experience at a Waffle House. But this is all over. This is Phoenix. This is in,
Yeah.
Georgia, South Carolina.
You expect that.
And we came here, and we, it wasn't a good experience. We just did it to go there. And so, yeah, all right, well, it's a Waffle House. We're not going to go. One morning, I was invited, and I went with the Mayor Pro Tem and a couple other city people. And I went home, and I told Angela, I said, I've never had an experience at a Waffle House like I had today. You have to go with the Mayor Pro Tem. If you want to have a good experience at the Waffle House,
Which one?
You have to be
Southwick.
seen with the Mayor Pro Tem, Kurt Maddox. It'll change your entire Waffle House opinion. And I'm not saying that they're only good when he's there, but the times that I've been there, we're talking gourmet hash browns.
Was it? It
We're
was like
talking the
walking in
waffles
with
were
Elon
perfectly
Musk.
brown. The syrup was melted just right. The butter you could still see was a little solid, but it was little bit of liquid running off the sides. The bacon was crispy, and I mean the bacon was like making a bacon house. It was stacked up.
So they probably do
Even
that.
the porterhouse was medium rare. Most Waffle Houses, the porterhouse is too thin. It's going to be brown by the you just undo it out of the freezer and it's brown. This porterhouse was red.
I am going to give a little plug to the South Loop Waffle House.
Yes.
So the majority of the staff that's been there they've been there 10 to 15 years. It's like walking into Cheers. They are very cordial. They're polite. They say good morning. They know most of the people there, 50% are regulars. They're all cordial. They're all nice, from Jessica to Sarah, Mary Jo. They're all unbelievable. And I've been going there for a while, and I like to drink Diet Coke, and so they'll have me a Diet Coke. They'll see me pull up in my truck, but it's not just me. They take care of all their customers like that, and they're awesome. And they know what you want. They know how you want to cook it. And that's why they're probably one of the best Waffle Houses around. They're always packed.
Now, where's their location?
In front of Incredible Pizza on the South Loop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to that one. for
They've
sure.
had a little competition surround them, but
Yes.
they're doing just fine.
They're doing good.
That's
my
awesome.
wife was with me at the school, and we were leaving. The night before, the mayor pro tem came to us and he said, tomorrow after this event, we might need to go to the Waffle House. And I said, yeah, we do. And so I told Angela that morning, and she had a hair appointment, and a lot of women with their hair appointments schedule them well in advance. The appointments get booked up. So she was like, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to go and experience an incredible Waffle House experience. And she was like, I got a hair appointment, but I really kind of want to experience this Waffle House.
You just got to be able to speak their lingo. It's all about lingo there.
Yeah, and he's right. It wasn't just us or the mayor pro tem. That's just their general welcoming, and it's a clean Waffle House too. It's not. I've been in a lot.
Not the league line one, though.
We're all going to go to the Waffle House tomorrow. They're going to have to serve Andrew outside.
You have trashed every other Waffle House. Except
Yeah,
this one.
no, Cindy, there's a legit conversation between the League Line Waffle House and the South Loop Waffle House.
There is.
But
100%.
League Line.
Oh, yeah, like you go on social media, there's people argue about it. Because I used to live by the League Line, so I would go to the League Line
Yeah,
one.
that's what.
And then when we moved away from there, I went to the South Loop one, and I was like, I can see why people talk
It's
about
different.
this. And
It's
they
different.
talk about
They're
this.
both good. I'm going to tell you, they're both.
Yeah.
They're competitive. Some staff will have to go to the other ones when they're training and stuff. So there's a lot of trainees because they all been there so long. So there is a competition. I think they even have a Facebook competition rival. So it's really kind of neat, and they're competitive because there's the League Line thread Waffle House, and then there's the South Loop thread Waffle House, because
real thing.
I have my pictures made the South Loop, and it's another story.
The league line one's like probably jealous.
They are. So it's great. It's great fun. It's being competitive, and they do a wonderful business.
Now I'm
free.
hungry.
Hilarious.
I'm coming tomorrow. I'm getting a free breakfast.
And I want to be to
gonna
make it
drop
clear.
your name.
My Waffle House experiences were all on the East Coast, Savannah, Georgia, Beaufort, South Carolina, where there's literally, you get off the highway, there's probably 3 Waffle Houses to choose from at that intersection, and they're what they are. They're middle of the night.
That's
you
right.
go in there and eat. They were great.
Yeah.
We had some great nights in Savannah and heading back to Beaufort.
Yeah, I think my favorite one was after we didn't know LSU was playing, and we were driving through Louisiana, and we're like, it's late, let's get some Waffle House. And it was just the traffic was horrendous. And I was like, what's going on? And then I realized, LSU just got out. And then we got to the Waffle House, and it was a madhouse. Yeah. And I was like, can we just get it to go? Like, how do we get in and out of this place without, like, are we wearing the right colors? We got to make sure we're wearing, because it was LSU football is a big deal, and that's Waffle House.
Do they still go, hi, Card, hi, Elizabeth, hi, Andrew? Do they still say hi to you when you walk in the door?
Welcome to Waffle
I think they
House.
do, yeah.
They don't know my name.
That is, I love, I love that. 'Cause so many
And I mean,
people-
we got Scott Perry that goes,
Yeah.
Norma goes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. There's
mean-
people from the city that go. They know them all.
and they know their name.
Yeah. Oh
Where
gosh.
you go,
yeah.
you go, know
Cheers.
my name. That's
It's cheers.
And one of my favorite things they do, I know they do it at the South Loop one, is they always offer a drink to go. And it's always a big deal to me because, like, you have delicious coffee and you're trying to go, and they always go, "Do you want a cup of coffee to go?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do. Thank you so much." And if you can get a soda or water, they'll give it to you to
it's
go.
free.
And
It's
all I
free.
really want is the cup, the real cup, a Waffle House cup.
You cannot buy you.
I know. I just want one at home. So when
mug?
I get up in the morning and I'm checking social media to make sure the
There-
city's in good order, I want my Waffle
So-
House cup.
He's
that I
trying-
can-
Well, here's a strange story.
He's trying
So
to get
when
in
I got
good.
married, my cake was a Waffle House building. So you know how when you get married, they have the guy's cake and the girl. Yeah. So
So you're a
mine
big
was.
Waffle House guy?
Oh, huge!
Are you?
That's where I asked permission to marry my wife. Where I took her mother. She's like, "I got to take you out to breakfast," and I go, "Well, I'm going to take you to the Waffle House," and that's where I asked permission. And so they knew us. This is in Beaumont, so they knew us so well there, because I always asked, "Can I buy a hat? Can I buy this?" Like, no, we can't sell it. So when we got married, they knew we were getting married. They gave us a to-go bag filled with mugs,
Oh,
hats,
wow.
and
Oh.
coupons to give people. And then I actually got them to make my carry-out food item at the wedding. So when our friends were leaving, they had breakfast bowls to go. So, and everyone was like, "That's the best move ever," because people were dancing, having fun, and it's like as they were leaving, and then you get to the hotel, there's just Waffle House everywhere in the lobby. Everyone's eating.
Speaking of hotels on the South Loop, we have a new one opening up soon.
Oh my goodness. Oh, let me see. I can't see that far.
That's my crew.
Look, ooh.
Yeah, I'm a big Waffle House guy.
Oh man.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you gave them creds. Yeah, you should did. Oh, that's
We
so
we
cute.
have a new hotel opening up on the South Loop, not too far from the Waffle House.
What is it? What kind? What is?
It
what's the
is
brand?
it is our brand new Hyatt Regency Hotel and Convention Center.
And convention center.
It is a convention center.
Oh.
It is a legitimate convention center, and it's opening. Who wants to say the date?
May 25th.
Where exactly is it?
May 25th.
I'm
It's
trying to
on,
look it up.
The town Park Road out in Grand Central. So
Okay.
it'll be Crichton. It crosses over to Crichton to Town Park or Grand Central Parkway.
Okay.
It's the
That's
Crichton exit.
great.
That Crichton
Yeah.
Road's gonna
Go
head
left.
There's a lot of cool
east.
businesses in there.
You Voodoo.
Yeah.
Mez-
I went
There's
to
a lot.
the Perfect Round the other
Perfect
weekend,
Round's
and I was like,
great.
"What is all this stuff here?"
There's a for the girls out there. There is a pedicure, manicure. It's a huge building that I've heard a lot. In fact, I think my wife has gone, but she's read a lot about it on I Love Conroe.
And so we're getting all that, and Waffle House too. All
Wait,
real
there's a
close
new
to each
Waffle
other,
House?
right?
No,
Okay,
not
you got me
in
all
there. I'm just
excited.
saying,
You got
We
me all-
just want people to know
You
when
can
you
stay
have a
at the
convention,
hotel.
there is a
Yes.
Waffle House
Waffle
close.
And eat
Yeah.
at the Waffle House. Yeah, that's perfect. I love
We're gonna
that.
try and get with DeAndre from transportation to see if we can get a shuttle
Stop at the
from
Waffle House?
the hotel to the Waffle House.
Yes, that's perfect. It's right next. That's
Bus
perfect.
stop.
That's gonna be a
love
busy, busy area. Just
It
thinking
is,
about
yeah.
it. That's gonna be crazy.
It is just more and more traffic. I just love it. That's perfect.
Well, 45 is perfect. It's just
No.
there's gonna be so many different ways to get into that place too. By the way,
Right.
Cindy.
No,
So you're
They-
you're
It's gonna be
45,
fine.
45 has been an important.
There's something that everyone needs to be aware of. And when I moved here, I drove to Houston every day. That was where I worked downtown. I drove and I took the Hardy Toll Road. When I first moved here, it wasn't what it was. It was like 2 lanes. And for a short period of time, which seemed forever, they were reconstructing it, and it made it just incredibly difficult. And it was frustrating. It was always closed. But now, this was like for a 1-year period. But now, since they redid it, it runs smooth. It's open. It accommodates all the traffic. And I remember that, and I think the same thing's happening in Conroe. Conroe, the growth, the expansion is so incredible right now that we're going to experience these temporary inconveniences, but we have to do that as the city plans and builds for the future. If we
Right.
don't do it, then it's just going to be a congested mess. So in order to expand with the people coming here, there are going to be capital improvement projects that we have to do it. And as we do it, get through it. It's frustrating, but once it's open and everything's running smooth, it's going to be a machine that we're upgrading. We're Conroe 2.0. That's all we're doing. In order to do that, some people are going to have to experience the traffic and construction and maintenance.
Wow. That makes me excited about getting out there. Thank you, Andrew, because I am.
It's gonna happen. There's
I
gonna
know.
be improvements.
No, I've lived here like 18
if
years.
people just understand why it's happening, is if we don't do it, it's gonna create more problems in the future.
No, that's true. What you find is that you just learn when to leave and when to come back and what time's the best time to get on the freeway.
So when the city is about to do what they call their budget retreat, it was going to be next week. I think we're going to push it out a week. But when you're budgeting for the future, there's the general fund, but there's what Andrew's talking about is your CIP, your capital improvements projects, because we plan for the future. We know the growth's coming, and we're trying to hit the areas that are the
That's
most
great.
important.
Yes.
So we're just not looking at today, we're looking at the future, and sometimes we all get caught up in the moment. And so when we can look and see the bigger picture, because it's kind of like what I said earlier, when you're discussing youth, the youth are going to be the adults that run the world, the companies and
Yes,
stuff. So if you
yes.
don't prepare for what's going to come on, then how are they going to know?
That is exactly right. But I was going to say that 45 has given a lot of people just exactly what they needed, religion. And as they travel on that road, a lot of people have said, if you didn't have religion before, once you've gone down 45, you'll get it, because you're either going to be. I've tried, because
I understand that now.
they're
I
not-
didn't quite get it until, but I do now.
I mean, are you just a terrible driver? Because it's never really been bad. And I've grown up in Houston where things can get real bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I
all
went
the
on a-
text dot. That's text dot, and they're
That's not-
doing
I mean, the
their
real
thing. They're trying
question-
to figure this all out.
The real question is who's in charge of the 105 stuff.
That's all text dot.
That's
That
the
has
real
nothing to do
question.
with us.
I know it doesn't. Many people.
We want to, help people understand why things are happening, but we're not the ones that are making
Right.
things
I'm
happen.
not
But
blaming you.
text dot, they're like everyone else. They,
got a
getting
plan.
products, getting supplies, the labor, everything. Is that the shut up sign?
It was too.
You're done. Yeah, that's text
No,
dot.
it's adventure awaits, and that's really what this is all about. Is because we have, there's so much coming to Conroe. Montgomery but Conroe is just amazed me, because we've been out here 18 years and have watched. Wow, it just grows so much, and y'all are keeping up, Kurt. You really are. You're doing great, and
Thank you.
I tried so hard because I started out in this business teaching sign language, and I noticed that a lot of people driving only know about 2 or 3 signs. So I tried to help expand that vocabulary. So I tried helping on that too, and it doesn't matter. They still. Okay, I've got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes to tie this all up.
Okay.
But so y'all are gonna have to come back. That's what we want y'all. Like every week, y'all could come back and talk about what's happening, what's going on, and keeping people informed.
Yeah,
And it could be
nothing else
Well,
going
in
on,
3
right?
minutes, Elizabeth has one event she'd like to tell you about.
Okay, go.
I do.
Yeah,
The Stars and Stripes.
that's it.
Oh, look, Stars and Stripes.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go. The City of Conroe is hosting our second annual Stars and Stripes event. Last year was the first one ever. This year it'll be on Saturday, July 1st, from 6 to 9:30, with fireworks about approximately 9:15. Takes place at Heritage Park and surrounding throughout downtown Conroe.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, good.
So
See, every
put
week,
that on
every
your
week
calendars.
y'all
Waffle
have
House to
something going on.
Make a presence out there. The Waffle House needs a truck. A portable Waffle House
truck.
truck.
They do actually.
We'll
They
have
can be at
food
this
trucks and
event.
vendors and
Yeah.
There will be food trucks
fireworks.
and
That's
of
a
course, so.
great idea. Chicken Max is in Willis. Just opened up in Willis, and it has the waffles and
Chicken and waffles.
Yes, and if you don't, you can just hear your arteries clogging. But anyway,
There'll be
can I
good
get the
music
camera?
and
Oh, yeah, there we go.
symphony and
What camera do we
and
have?
everything going on in the pregame and great music. We had a ball last year, and get there early, get a good seat, and it's a great fireworks show.
That's wonderful. I'm so
There,
proud of
and
y'all.
we are actually, stay tuned, pay attention, because we're going to be putting out notices and alerts that we're going to have a shuttle service. So parking won't be such an issue. We'll have dedicated lots where the
Yes.
shuttle can bring you
Perfect.
downtown. So that'll help ease the congestion. But once we have that all,
It's a park and ride lot under the
Yeah,
Okay.
under the freeway.
yeah.
Before we go, I do want to say one thing that, as a council and speaking on the council behalf and the mayor's behalf, we couldn't do our job if we didn't have the staff that we have. And I'm just going to tell you, from the police chief to the secretaries to our employees of the year, Oscar, and all the guys and all the girls and women that work here that put in, they take it serious. And I'm telling you, this is the greatest city in the world, and that's why I like being a servant of the city, because of our staff and our employees, because we couldn't do our job if it wasn't for them. So thank y'all to all.
That is so that's okay. That's so sweet. I hope you tell them to listen to the show and listen. You call out their names, and that's good. We want to say I'll be back. There's my camera. We'll be back. I'll be back next week. But Lone Star Community Radio goes on and goes on and goes on. So be sure and listen in to all our great programs. And Richard Schishler, thank you so much. Thank you, Kurt and Elizabeth and Andrew. Thank you for being on the show. It's an honor to have all of you, and especially you. First responders, we love you so much. We love you. We respect you. We just can't believe that you have that kind of bravery. I'm glad. Okay, is that what he's doing to me? Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Love you. See ya. Bye.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
Is there someone you know who is hooked on vintage aircraft? Follow the Commemorative Air Force and its fleet of World War II planes, including the mighty B-17 Flying Fortress Texas Raiders, which is based in Conroe, Texas. Texas Raiders tours locally and all around the United States, offering the public a chance to put their hands on aviation history. What could be a more perfect gift than a flight on a historic B-17? Taking to the sky on the iconic bomber is an experience that will never be forgotten. For the touring schedule, reservations, or more information, go to b17texasraiders.org or call fly a B-17.
From the beginning, the main purpose of the Cooperative Extension Service has been to change human behavior by teaching people how to apply the results of scientific research. By utilizing a holistic, multi-level